And welcome back to a guy, a Hoosier, and a Hillbilly walk into Arrowhead Stadium. Guy, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, Hoosier, there's some craziness going on in the world. Let me share this out with you. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like this, and I really want everybody's thought process on this. Check this out. NFL issues security warning after burglaries at Mahomes and Travis Kelsey's homes. That's hard to say. Mahomes and then Travis Kelsey's home. Uh, Linked to organized group. These guys leave town, right? They're going for a ball game. They come back and their place has been burglarized. That's crazy.
I mean, I absolutely agree with you there. They're going to do their job, which is broadcast it, right? And they come back home and their stuff's, been gone through or taken. What's going on, folks? It has to be like, you know, another city's fans because I don't see Kansas City messing with some of their star players.
Kansas City's full of honest people. What do you think, Hillbilly?
I agree. Kansas City is totally full of honest people. And, the fact of the matter is these people are making a living putting on a show for you guys. Come on. They are living the American dream. They get to make millions of dollars playing a game. But let's face it, the money that they make has to last them a lifetime. They got broken bones, torn ACLs. They're not going to be working this type of job forever. They need every penny they can get. You don't need to be ripping them off if they're putting on a good show for you. They're going to be playing Christmas Day for crying out loud. They don't need to worry about if their homes are getting broken into, people.
And this goes back to our previous conversations about anonymity, right? You know, these folks, they're not anonymous, right? They're out there in front of us and people are finding out where they live, where they're going to eat, who their loved ones are, like that. And, you know, we can see the consequences here with their homes getting broken into.
I mean, it's
You
not
know
like
what
these guys have mass amounts of cash sitting around, is it?
they might, but if they do, it's only because, they got to put it in so many different banks and so many different accounts. They're traveling so much. And they got to have an accountant, an agent. But at the end of the day, if you got 100 grand laying around in the house, you might want to change that. So for anybody out there that has that much cash flow in your house, I highly recommend sticking that in a much safer place, as a home safe when nobody's around is not exactly safe.
Well,
This
not only
message.
that, but go ahead, guy. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, Mahomes, if you're listening to this, boy, take a couple 100,000, right? Take a couple thousand of that. Go out, buy yourself a safe. Something with biometrics, man. Mr. Kelsey, come on, man. Put that stuff at Taylor's house. She'll watch it for you.
But you got to know that these guys had security systems on their houses, right? So this had to be a very sophisticated, or at least smart crew to take out both that and I'm sure they had some of this stuff in safes and they probably busted, got into those safes. I mean,
Yeah.
you can watch a YouTube video on how to do a lot of that, but just interesting enough that they were targeted. So they had to really target not just the person, but they had to have the skills to be able to bypass the security.
I mean, these guys are on a schedule. Everybody knows what they are. You would think that they would have massive security details, but apparently that is not the case. And I can tell you just from, a quick personal story. I had a little brother. We had a gun safe together, but it resided at our old residence where we grew up. It was technically my safe, but I left it there because it weighed like 700, 800 pounds, and I wasn't able to move it on my own, and I didn't have friends that were good enough to help me move that. But eventually, after my brother passed away, I had to try to get into that safe to make sure that it was there. The combination had been lost. And I can tell you firsthand, a cutting wheel and a rechargeable saw, I was in that thing in less than 10 minutes. So even in a safe, if you're not home and the criminal has 20 minutes, No safe is going to be able to keep you truly secure. It really isn't. And this really goes back to, when we talk about the anonymity, don't talk about things that you have. Don't discuss online about how you set up your security, what your house looks like, the layout of it. When you do that, you are literally inviting everybody in the world into your home. Your home is your little neck of the woods. This isn't cribs. We don't live in that world anymore. Don't do it. Right? I mean, it's cool to be successful. It's cool to have very nice things. When you start showing them off, you need to have some sort of expectation that somebody's going to try to take what's yours. It's just the way it is in this world nowadays. Whether you're a citizen or a small nation, politically, we've seen that too. Hillbilly,
Correct.
what would you say to these people?
What I'd say is these days athletes in America, especially the Kansas City Chiefs team with how many Super Bowls they've won in a row, they're no different than Taylor Swift. They're no different than Cher. They're no different than Beyonce. So really, what that means is you're going to have a stage name. You're going to have it separate from your personal life. So your home's been broken into. It's a horrible thing. It's a thing that takes away your safety net. So, you might want to think about relocating. I'm not saying you have to relocate to a different state or anything, but relocate somewhere else and really have that be your private haven. Take off the public persona when you're there. Take it all off. Don't have Taylor Swift over at your house or any other celebrities over at your house. Rent an Airbnb. Do it there. The other aspect is, especially if you're in the public eye, selfies are even that much more dangerous when you're in the public eye. So I would definitely recommend, if you're going to do that sort of publicity, make sure you're not doing it anywhere near your home and just try to live a normal, quiet life. Harrison Ford, Clint Eastwood, a whole bunch of other actors, they have really done a great job of just leaving Hollywood in Hollywood once they're not filming. And I think that's what these celebrities need to start doing. And these days, an NFL players such as Mahomes and Kelsey, they are celebrities. They've reached that status. So it's really what I think they got to do.
But in their defense, people are following them 24/7.
Agreed.
Paparazzi, are invading their personal time. It would be really, really hard for someone at their level to hide where they live.
That's
I
true.
mean, I got to give them that. But, I've always been told the hardest security to circumvent are dogs.
Yes.
You know, get you a couple dogs. You know, you can get them well trained. You make that kind of money. You can have them well trained to where they're like puppies in your hand, and then the moment it's a stranger, you turn that off, and it just they get in there and tear it up.
Hoosier, my favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes from movies is the Last Action Hero. Have y'all ever seen The Last Action Hero? One
Great
of my
Schwarzenegger
favorites.
movie.
Um, I love it when the Rottweilers come out, the guy snaps his fingers, and all of a sudden they're all jumped up into a pyramid formation. They have this kind of money. They could get them trained to that level. For this kind of money, they don't even need dogs. They could get bears. Let's face it, they could get a bear and have it trained. No one's going to mess with the bear. Travis, get yourself a bear. Selling it to you.
Tigers.
Exactly. Oh my.
You
One of my
know,
favorites.
no, go ahead, Hoosier.
One of my favorite scenes um, from the Last Boy Scout is you know Jamie Foxx telling him, "Well, she's got a really sophisticated security system. I set it up myself, but I'm sure you know how to circumvent that." And they get there, and he's at the door, and he's like, "All right, Bruce Willis is like, all right, Junior, show me how to circumvent it." And he grabs the sides of the entryway and just kicks the door open. He's like, "What happened to the security system?" "Circumvented it."
So what comes to my mind, and for anybody listening, this is a complete joke. Don't actually do this. I'm not actually being serious. But what would be really cool is a moat, 30-foot moat filled with alligators and spikes, and then actually having a crocodile, nice big old crocodile, living right at the entryway of the house, right inside the doors, and that's your security system. I think that would be really cool. But again, that's a joke. Nobody do that.
But if you do, I definitely want to see that. I want to come visit your moat.
And take pictures and post them online.
Indeed, on my social media. I'll claim it as my own.
You know, the unfortunate reality, but it's also a fortunate reality, is with social media, these celebrities these days, once they retire, once they go away for a year or two, the world pretty much forgets about them. You know, there was a time when Justin Bieber ruled all over America, and now you don't really hear about him anymore. And you know, somebody else has taken his place. Same with the Jonas Brothers, One Direction, all the other people. It'll happen to Taylor Swift. It'll happen to everybody. You know,
Billy, you
so
just got us targeted by all the Bieber fans. They're just
hey,
gonna slam our comments.
hey, they're not going to slam because I love the Biebs. Okay, he's a great guy. I won't even get into it, but he's a great musician. All right, so don't be hating. Don't be hating.
Have y'all seen Justin Bieber lately?
No,
I have
no,
not.
Man,
I don't think I really saw him when he was popular either. But you know,
uh, let's just say he doesn't quite look the same as he did when he was that young rising star.
Was he? Is he looking his age
do
now?
do any of us though?
Oh, I do. I look
I
great,
still
man.
look like I'm 18.
Biebs, don't worry. We love you still. You just keep doing you. And for the rest of you stars out there, get some security. Seriously.
Absolutely, get some security, and you know, remember your home is supposed to be your private place. Keep it that way.
Hey, for the right money, you can hire me. I'll sleep in a hammock in your front yard.
I mean, I'm right there
I
too.
got a right to carry, so
I don't even need a hammock. I'll take a sleeping bag and a box of donuts and a shotgun. I'll keep all your possessions safe. You just may not be able to afford me. All right, guys. I'd say that's enough on this topic.
yep. And from Hoosier, stay safe, everybody.
From Hillbilly, take it easy. Remember, life's not that hard. Have fun.
And from Guy Actual, remember, I love you all. Good night, folks.